Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 10, day 3. It is Wednesday, March 8th, 2017. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Well, welcome new viewers. Here we go. Recap of the indices and key futures markets that we watch each day with some highlights on the charts and what were the trends of the day. So let's jump right in. As we can see here, it was all about the oil here today as crude simply dumped its way down. Hey guys, Jedi traders, 15 minutes prior to the market open, we go ahead and put in the pre-market trend. So let's jump right into that. As we can see here on the daily outlook, as we do each day, econ highlights for the day. A little post there to Ken Palkari's morning thoughts. Good read. Screen share this morning was showing after a London Open. Let's go ahead and open that up there. Try that again. There we go. London Open price action. Again, not really showing that trend, but just starting to show an inkling of maybe price action to dip here below the VWAP, and it's exactly we ended up getting on the majority of the markets, as downtrend was the play on the uptrend was the play, not downtrend, uptrend as price action lifted above the VWAPs overnight. Let's go back to that London Open. There it was, holding above the VWAP. I was noting the two red horizontal bars here going red, but that's not where we held. And for the most part, indices chop overnight, but all holding up in an uptrend above the VWAPs respectively. YM and ES getting the better lift. It was the 6J yen on the downside as market opened up there, at least U.S. regular trading hours. But again, yen already on the move from the overnight, and crude just starting to move. But it was crude. It was all about the crude today, as crude just emptied out its guts. All right, so taking a look at the numbers here today, let's go ahead and take a look at the VIX there at the open. There was around 11.34, already down from previous session. Current price on the NQ looking at 53.50. Big picture, we were looking up at 53.71 upside, and downside 32. We never got we never really emptied out to 32, but a little bit stayed above that. But anyway, NQ pre-market, there was the price holding right here at 53.51. Really never got down to 32, so it was a 15-minute, and that's exactly where we ended up here, 53.71 for the day, as we saw the 60-minute chart just hugging around the major support resistance. We'll come back to these charts later, see where we are currently in trend. All right, market profile again this morning on the NQ. Pretty balanced, opening up around POC, point of control, and pretty much 100% net short together here with the ES. All right, ES was looking at 23.68. We were in an uptrend, more of a choppy uptrend pre-market. We were looking upside 23.75, 23.82. Never really hit that 75, more closer to about 73, but hey, what's a couple points? There was the level upside. 23.63 was the area to be dealt with to the downside, as we see here on the ES pre-market. 23.63 was downside, pretty much held to the lows, and 23.71, 23.72 back up to resistance. It's exactly where we held for today's session. We'll go over the MMLs here just in a bit. And it was the ES TPO. There it is. Nice balanced profile yesterday. 70% of the day's range there. Point of control. And pretty much overall session was net short here. Most of the trading occurring below yesterday's gap and point of control. And a little bit balanced as price action opened up on the ES right around 23. It was around 23.69.50, I believe. We'll take a look at that on the charts. All right, overall price action today, as it was all about the oil dumping. We'll go ahead and take a look at that chart here in a minute. Session highlights, balanced market profile, as let's go ahead and pull that out on the three indices. Volume profile again across the board. Nice price action. A little bit weak on the low on the ES here, but 70% of day's range. taking out the points of control from the previous session. But there it was on the NQ and ES. Points of control, 2369.50. That's around where the ES opened. So again, that 100% net short, opening up around balance here, 2369, and the NQ really never looking back here as NQ held above both the daily gaps and the point of control from the previous session. Other highlights, again, crude dumping out. Let's go ahead and just jump right to that chart. There was the crude major move, solid hike at Ashton bars, tails down under the VWAP, solid trend down, a little bit of chop here at the lows. Actually got a little bit more down. We'll go ahead and take a look at that last chart, but crude, big time sell-off here today. Deep pullbacks, guys. Overnight trend just couldn't hold the whole time. Choppy, longer range setups, volatile roller coaster. So try to hold on as long as you can. Manage the trade, see what you can get out of it. Even just a piece of the pie is okay. VIX closing up 1186 with most of the sectors in the green. ADP employment really was in the news today on economic gains as it was all to the upside. ADP employment, big gain. So Globex uptrend continues with the U.S. session. Actually, YM closing out downside from today's open and NQ upside. So pretty much, I would say, a flat market to close near the open. All right, let's go ahead and take some of those key charts here today. It was all about the watching the NQ here today. Market open, solid body. Again, great tutorial that we went through today. If you're looking for that first entry, could be just above the cloud. If not, you wait till you're in trend. But either way, break above, watch the monthly VWAP as it had already rejected prior. And a couple bars, you wait, it's all right. Price action follows through, and you got yourself a nice, successful trade. Again, I mentioned deeper pullbacks, and that's exactly what we got. If you had the ability to stay in from the entry, kudos to you, but deeper pullbacks after especially a price action lifting back high, you most likely might have moved your stop to the swing size. All right, you bailed out, you got back in. Cam level was the level the NQ was dealing with here. Right past the euro close as markets did lift in the AM session, starting to look like yesterday's session, right to the 53.71 on the MML, and that pretty much was the high for the day, coming back down to major support resistance. Exactly the move we got yesterday, so I thought we were just replaying it. Post mid-session there, so the euro close got a lift right off the monthly VWAP. Again, you're back above the cloud, get yourself an entry to the upside, and the PM session, again, following through, back down, got another lift. So when we say longer range, yeah, that's exactly what we got, off the VWAPs, off the daily pivots. We'll take a look at the 5-minute chart and see that's really where we held today was the Globex high and the daily pivot. All right, wrapping it up, NQ full session, that's what we got, a lot of ups and downs. So opening price, 52.75. So at least NQ holding, closing above, as you can see, one time after another, hitting to the VWAPs, holding to the Globex high, which was down here near the open, and then pushing up to those upper cam levels as well. For the most part, the good majority of the trading session from market open to PM held upside, except for this downtrend here. Take a look at the MML full session. There it was, right off the major support resistance up to the high. Played around a little bit. If you took the short here, you managed on the way down, never really being able to get that major support resistance. Came right back up on you. Another try up and down. So range bound there. And YM full session. There we go. Price action again. For the most part, nice, smooth, but a little bit deeper pullbacks. Not able to keep the trend going. It was the PM session on the YM that really gave you the drive down with the other markets. And taking a look at the ES, here we were. ES market open, a little bit choppy in the morning session. Got herself a lift up, come down, another lift above the cloud, trying to go again. We had talked about this in the price action as the AD line was hitting up as well on the NQ. Just couldn't push up above there. And finally, market just tanked here in the PM session to the downside. Deeper pullback up to the daily VWAP. MML full session. So when you bring the two together, price action again, attempting to break that high resistance. Just couldn't do it today. Found support at major support, back up, and all the way down to end at the lows. All right, let's jump right into the charts today as they played out. Taking a look at the daily gaps here. Price action, weekly opening price here, 53.50. We're still seem to be honing in on that level here, and open gaps downside still exist, 32.50, 21.25. Taking a look at the YM here, price action trying to reach down that next open gap here, 831 seems to be in the scopes, and then all the way down to 646, and the ES as it continues to draw down here. One gap already closed this week, 48.75. Let me bring up that CL on its huge drop here after closing out the gap here yesterday, 53.63, and CL really gapping down. Taking a look at a couple other market internals. Let's take a look at the AD lines. Here it was, NQ, sticking by the lines today as well. Price action lifts up, coming across here, not able to break that 25, looking for that break up above, downside holds right there to the level. So a nice adjunct to Heikin-Ashi bars when they're in trend, to use those AD lines to see if price action is going to run up any higher. So YM, yeah, we think we're moving up as we just saw on the chart on the ES, and just could not lift anymore. So 150 on the AD line, holding to its levels. Value profile, already nice balanced profile all the way across, 70% of the trading holding within the zone. Points of control noted for tomorrow's market. Taking a look at the daily trend on the 5-minute charts, again, of any note here, YM in the upper left-hand corner here, really never looking back, hanging around the daily gap for some time, and then finishing out near the cam low. NQ by the levels, really, I was mentioning that Globex high pivot bounce. That's exactly where we got. Price action up, retraces right back down. There was that early morning cam high, Camarilla pivot high resistance, finally breaking out a little bit, but really not being able to hold on. ES, similar picture as the YM, drives down after a lot of AM chop, lifts back up, and that was it. Couldn't break it higher. And if you note right here, take a look at that push up there. That was in sync with the AD line. So you got yourself a setup on the range chart. You got yourself on the 5-minute chart. Just could not push above that 150. So you hold off from the long on the 5-minute charts right up here. And it was the trend to the downside. Deep pullback. Might not have been able to stay on, and you took the last entry to the downside. All right, those are the market internals. Let's take a look at any of the other key charts here. Again, crude I would mention. There was the final pullout on the crude all the way downside. So that's our trending market for the day. As we could see, price action just running down. Just like we see here, 51.44, price action to the downside in sync with the 534, 51.44. Same setups here on the crude to the downside, just different color, that's all. It still says trend is down. Heikin-Ashi bars, you ride it, you ride it, you ride it, and you stay on it as long as you can. All right, 6 GC. Again, GC with a nice little move here about pre-session, but GC just could not run anywhere today. They have a nice little pocket above the cloud. You try to get something going here. Maybe you stayed in the chop here and finally just bailed on something because nothing was running on the GC today. 6J, yep, there it was, downside. Crude came down, and yen had a nice move to the downside. Solid body down underneath the cloud, and the VWAPs as well, and resistance right there, the daily VWAP, to call it a day. 6E chart, it was mostly downtrend as price action, but within the range. Globex, little pocket here, London session, got a nice little lift right here for maybe a couple ticks. Back downside gave you another setup, but 6E not as exciting as our indices and especially crude today. All right, where does that leave us heading into the Globex and to the overnight session? Well, taking a look at the YM here, price action on the 15-minute. Hang on. One other charts I wanted to show you here, guys. It was the bigger picture intraday. So one of the questions, where are we going? Where are we going? Is crude going to hold out here? And exactly that. Just had to pull up an MML. Finally see market action slowing down here in the afternoon session as price action held out as it was closing in on its outcry there as crude continued to move down throughout the session. Bigger picture 4-hour chart was reaching down to those low levels around 50. Again, 60-minute chart with a match on the levels, but it was the 15-minute chart from the resistance all the way down to support. Well, why exit at the support when you have the move all the way down, right? You're holding on HA bars, HA bars, HA bars, all in trend. Why exit yourself right at support? Why not keep riding it until finally either get stopped out or you keep moving your trailing stop to 1 MML lower until you get maybe stopped out on that bar. And what? You didn't give back that many ticks, so you got yourself a nice rundown. All right, let's jump into the picks here for where we headed tomorrow. Well, I can't tell you that. I can only tell you watch the Globex. If support is to hold here on the YM, we want to watch up to 898. Anything higher, we'll be looking at 938. So until we get up there, that would be equivalent resistance, major support on both the 60 and the 4-hour chart here. 15-minute chart currently holding support. Anything lower, we'll start looking at 830 and then down to 801 on the higher time frames. So take a look at the NQ 4-hour chart, 60-minute and 15-minute chart. As we found really the 53.71 to be that resistance. If we move downside, watch 51.56 down to 32. Anything lower, we're looking to 12.50 would be a really deep dive on the 60-minute chart. But 4-hour chart, there it is, 53.51, and with a match on the 15-minute. Anything upside, watch 53.71 all the way up to 85. And wrapping it up here on the ES, 60-minute, 15-minute, and the 4-hour charts. Price action again, downside, holds ES here. Anything downside, let's start looking at 60.35. We are holding downside on the 4-hour. I still got to go. Bigger picture, we are uptrend. Right now, we're holding here, at least support. We'll watch the overnight to see if the 15-minute changes course. But all across the board, we're at a decision time, 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart, and the 15-minute. If we lose it here, start to look to downside levels 23.60. Anything upside, 67.71 would be our recourse back upside for tonight, all the way up to 75 if we really get an overnight surge. All right, those are the markets by the levels as we head into tomorrow. Econo Day calendar here. We are leading into Friday's non-farm payrolls. We have jobless claims, one other report as well. Taking a look at import-export. We've got T-bill bond auction as well. And then leading into Friday's employment situation as we roll into contract rollover. Hey guys, want to give a shout out to Mr. Top Step Trader, as I had my first post there, trading fibs. There it is. Big picture for the week. Nice post that we'll be posting there each week. Give it a shout out. Does some great stuff. You can catch them every day on the last 45 there on Periscope. And then a shout out to See It Market, another great place for posting articles. I have a page here as well as other authors. If anybody there, you find a strategy or an article, give them a follow on Twitter and you'll be in the feed for any articles that come out on the market. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend and key futures markets that we watch here every day. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs, and as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts, and as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. For those of you that are interested in joining us in our community of like-minded traders seeking those highest probability setups, feel free to email me, David at tradingfibs.com, and you may join us on any Thursday or Friday to view the live charts setups as they happen in the trading day. I can't reiterate enough. I have no clue, no idea where the market's going. If you take a poll, 50% will say up, 50% will say down, half will get it right, half will get it wrong. Follow the charts, know the big picture is all the uptrend on the indices. Any pullback is healthy to open gaps, to Fibonacci retracements, to MML levels, or whatever line you may be watching. The key is be ready in both directions. Intraday, long-term, whole different story, whole different ballgame. But intraday, you can be ready to go in both directions, make ticks in both ways. But overall picture, can't even tell you. I got to let the bigger crumb traders take care of that. And this little crumb trader pretty much follows the Pied Piper. If we're rolling down, get the trade on, try to ride it. If it's not meant to be, you bail, you wait for the next setup, and that's how you do it. All right, guys, have yourself a Blue Zone day wherever you may be, and have yourself a good day, a good night, and good trading to you.